We are back. Okay, we are back. Unfortunately, that specific area seems to be a bit crazy when it comes to cell reception, so we're gonna start this over and try to do this again. So I do apologize for the fan man out there who has attempted to join in, but take a look at the floor. 8-bit Do is over here. We do have Tozo, which are also bringing in some glasses. Of course, we have Newegg over here, which has some simulators that anybody can certainly check out if you're interested in gaming simulations. Now, we're going to kind of walk over and hopefully find a decent spot where we can actually stop at the booth. I do apologize for everybody out there who is attempting to at least attend CES and has questions about specific products. As over here, this is definitely much more of the gaming side for everybody that is more interested in taking a look at, say, like, for example, here's the KTC displays that they do have, which is for those who are on a very tight budget. So it's definitely an option for anybody out there that is looking for a display. Now they do have Tozo, which is seems to be kind of similar to, or the idea of maybe similar to the X-Real glasses that ROG is coming out with. So we are definitely going to take a look at a bit more everything that is here on the floor. Now we could go over to LG and check out their displays if you like, but we're going to take a look at pretty much anything you guys want to look at, especially when it comes to accessories, as that was a big demand for everybody out there that does want to look at some options when it comes to keyboards, mice, and controllers, and much more. Even displays, if you're looking for a decent display for not that much, for a much more fair budget, at least. So Simon, I went to Twitch because your live isn't working. Oh, really? But there are stutters even. So stutters even here. Oh, really? Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I kind of figured that it seems that it's not working quite well, the lives. So I might just go mainly on Twitch. If it works better on Twitch, let me know, guys. If it is working on YouTube, let me know, because it seems that people are experiencing some stutters throughout this live. Unfortunately, the floor is a bit crowded, so that could be affecting the signal pretty much for the most part. But for those who are interested in controllers, joysticks, we are over here. I feel that if I go a bit closer to 8-bit though, it seems that that's like a pretty bad spot to get to. So I'm going to be really mindful about where we head to next. Now, some of you may be familiar with KTC. For those who are looking for displays, they do have, I'm not too familiar with PXN. If you are, let me know. We could take a bit further on the floor with them. And a bit worried about going a little bit more, at least a little bit more south of the building, I can say, because that's when it gets a bit questionable. And if it gets a bit questionable at all, let me know. So, or at least what I saw. Okay. So I think that the reception is starting to clear up just a bit, but if it starts to act up anymore, let me know. This is interesting. This one is, oh, okay. So this is another option. It's a bit tricky. So I'm gonna walk around, guys, because I'm trying to be really mindful of the reception here, as it's going to get a bit wild. So, of course, we have Newegg here. We do have Red Dragon back there for those who are looking a bit more for like keyboards and mice. In fact, so we can actually go over to Red Dragon and check them out. We'll go over to the displays too, for anyone that is curious about the displays when it comes to LG, because I know that's a big question for everybody. So let's take a walk over here. So if there's any requests, if you guys want to see any of the larger brands, let me know. We can always go back over to ASUS for a stream, because we only got to do like a 20-25 minute stream, and we definitely have to take advantage of the time while we can. So while I was over here, I had to do a meeting with pretty much Newegg, and since I'm here, I figure we might as well take a look at the peripherals. So yeah, KTC got more popular with mini LED monitors. Don't remember what monitors, but a lot of people went to the mini LEDs cheaper. So for those who are looking for a pretty decent keyboard and isn't crazy expensive, they do have options such as the Red Dragon. They actually have pretty decent keyboards, especially for the pricing. You may be familiar with them. They might have them in a Micro Center near you. And take a look here. They do have different variations, of course, different keycaps, different switches, and really you can customize it to your liking, depending on what you like. Take a look at this one right here. That's actually not too bad. So if you're curious about the different switches, they offer a ton of different switches, which we will look for. Actually, I found where all the different switches are, if anyone is curious on the keyboard end. So let's walk over there and check it out. And okay, so there is SIPO Maker. I'll check them out too. So okay, so here are all the different switches that they do have. All the amazing switches you can get. Now these are magnetic switches. Then they also have, it looks like, silent switches. They do have clear switches, heavy tactile for more of those who prefer something a bit more clicky, and of course optical switches, and a lot of people's favorites is the MX switches. So you can customize it to how you would like it. Typically they have Red Dragons inside of like Micro Centers, and they do have it different type of keycaps if you prefer a different look. Of course, this one's more of like a matcha looking color. And then of course they got something that's a bit more retro looking, which is something like this one here. By the way, I don't know if you've seen the comment on your last week. Oh, no, I didn't get to see it. No, just keep it. I just recommend keeping it, Simon. Because the thing is, like when it comes to tech, honestly, it's not gonna be a large enough leap for you to switch over anyway. So just keep the monitor, and I feel like you're going to be, I'm sure you're happy with it as it is. Tandem OLED is still amazing, without a doubt. So definitely keep it. I would highly suggest that you hold on to it. Now they do have different customizable options where you can choose more of a keyboard, where you can set it to, say, wireless, or even to Mac if you have a MacBook, for example. Now they have the different styles here, and of course the Red Dragon mice. There you go. Not quite Project Wii, but we do have an anime mouse right here. And of course these wonderful keycaps. What do you think of the aesthetic of some of these keycaps where they have the keys, where they have the lettering inside the keyboard? It might be a personal favorite for some people, because then it gives you a much more cleaner look up on the top here. So you could either have it just like this, or even like this. This is another good example, like a gray and black one. Of course, you got the little volume rocker, or you could set whatever type of slider of your choice there. And the Red Dragon mice, like if you want to use it for like RPGs, this would be a good choice because it has up to 12. Now it does have many options when it comes to the mouse wheel. Of course, your DPI buttons. Now the DPI buttons here. And of course you got your favorite two buttons onto the side here. And a little bit more lighter for more of a tactile shooter. And those who are more competition. This is definitely more of a competition mouse here, for sure. For anyone that is more serious in the FPS, this would be a decent mouse for you guys. Of course, they got something like this. This is pretty interesting. This one kind of reminds me a bit of like how the G502 is, but just slightly different. Has like the D-pad shift on the bottom here. Has the two buttons, except it doesn't have the two up here. And it does have the options here. Some people may prefer that. Some people don't like it, some people do. It just all depends on personal preference there. And of course, they have many different colors you can choose from. They do have these ones here. They have this one, which kind of gives it like almost like any of you Pokemon fans out there, kind of like a Lavender Town type of feel, like a Gengar color, you know. And they also have, for anybody that's into a pink, like a pink PC build or whatever, and you have like the traditional black keyboard over here too. So again, Red Dragon's a decent choice. Like if you're trying to look for a pretty decent budget keyboard and you want quality at the same time. Especially, I feel like even over time, I feel like that their keyboards have certainly improved in quality. Yeah, I mean, I just want to make sure I'm spending my money on the best option. But it seems that like the alternatives, like the XG27AQ WMG and the ASUS announced monitors, that will be much, yes. That's why I 100% agree with you that you should use it for like flying, for example. They have like the little shifter right here. They have the different options when it comes to your gas pedals and your brakes. And this one's pretty dope. This kind of gives it more of a Lamborghini type of controller here, and the ultra wheelbase here. So you have a ton of different options when it comes to it. But most of this is going to be all for racing. I'll see in here. So here is, it looks like some VR and some glasses here if you guys want to check it out. Translation devices. Let's see what's next here. Let's go ahead and go up here. Sorry, but could you repeat? There was, oh yeah, sure. No, it was just about the whole ASUS thing. Now, when it comes to ASUS, I'd say for your monitor, I think you're making the right decision keeping it. You're going to be 100% happy with what you have, because tandem OLED is still an excellent monitor to use compared to even today's tech. I can say that some monitors are certainly getting a bit more expensive in that sense. And with the whole pricing side, it's definitely smart for you to stay on the XG27AQ WMG. Yes, I got you, bro. Don't worry, I got you. If the signal starts to act up or anything, feel free to let me know, guys. Or if it's acting a bit weird, let me know. I'm trying to be a bit cautious of where I'm headed here, because as you guys know, the signal on the main floor is not the best, and everyone's fighting on the same, has either the same provider, which is all fighting on the same tower practically. Even though I got two bands, it doesn't matter which one I go to. It's just like, it's not doing great. But here's some options here for, this is more for ergonomics, and then they do have some gaming headsets over here. I haven't heard of them, but if you guys are interested in like a more budget option, they do have something which is like Bluetooth, ultra low latency. They do have wireless hybrid active noise canceling ones. I own. Check them out online. Let me know what you guys see on the review side. I'm just curious on how they do. They even got those track mouses. Remember those, fellas? Take a look. They got track mouses. So if anybody is a track mouse user, they do have. So let's go ahead. We're going to go to the next booth here. So guys, if you want to see anything, any specific brands, also let me know. I will also look for them. Oh, here we go. We have the GPD Win. Now, some of you guys are probably familiar with this, as we usually reviewed a lot of ASUS ROG Li stuff. We reviewed MSI's Claw, but here's the GPD. Sorry, I'm losing my voice here. So thank you so much again. Do you think that announced something better? And if you, no. Yeah, pretty much after today, this is it. Everything that you see at the show today, that's all that's going to be really announced. There's not going to be anything dropping anytime soon. But of course, if you have questions about any specifications, feel free to ask me, as of course we are here, and I can certainly speak to anyone here. So again, if anyone wants to see, go over to ASUS again, we can go over there and stream over there once again, as we only got to do like a 20-25 minute session due to an appointment I had during that day. So, but hopefully you guys got to check out that full ASUS video, and hopefully you found it very useful for many of you who are looking to, say, build a PC, whether it's motherboard or if it's for a GPU. But anyway, here is the GPD Micro PC2. So it got 7 inches, and it has 16 gigabytes of DDR5, and the processor is the N300. So they do have a GPD Win Mini, and that one's quite the beast. So apologize for that, guys. But so that one's quite the beast. This one actually has the 890M or the 780M, and even the A9HX370. So this is actually something that a lot of you might be interested in, something to see. So for those who are looking for a handheld device, something like this, especially if you're looking for a physical keyboard, you do have like a nice little the joysticks right here. You do have your typical controllers right here. A little bit different, has like a mouse tracker right here if that's what you choose. So you can actually, I wonder how it's like playing first-person shooters if you're just using like a mini keyboard and like a mini mouse. But it looks like, to me, this looks like, is this Final Fantasy from what it looks like? Let's see, it looks like Final Fantasy sort of. Oh, you know what? Let's go up here. Skills, inventory. No, this isn't Final Fantasy. This is resume. All right, so, okay, that's funny. Oh, there we go. It looks like, is this, oh, wow. It looks really good, actually. Graphics-wise, it looks excellent. Pretty wild. This looks like Forbidden West, right? That's what it looks like. But here it is. The screen's amazing. It's really crystal clear. A 1920 by 1080 resolution. Have I missed some decent monitors at the K? I can walk over there. We can check it. Check KTC out if you want to check out their monitors. So let's go ahead and check out the system information for you guys. I know some of you guys are curious about what they feature here, and here it is. This is inside the GPD Win. Now this has the AI9HX370. It uses up to 16 gigabytes of RAM. Let's go down here so I can show you guys. No, this one's actually 32, so this one's a bit more. In fact, we could actually take a look at what type of graphics this is using, but I mean, it does look really amazing graphics-wise. So let's go here, and we're going to check out the settings. Oh, that sucks. Let's hear settings, and
the idea is too, like, there could also be like,
okay, take a look at that. That's pretty impressive, right? Like for the settings, everything's set and very high. Everything. I wonder why it looks so good. Oh, no, we want to go very high again. There we go. Okay, so we got to go back. It's kind of funny because I think it's assuming that you're gaming off of the keyboard, but there we go. Take a look at that. That's actually pretty smooth. Let me zoom out if I can. No, I can't. But that's actually really smooth. So, and if anybody's looking for a handheld, this is certainly an option. They actually use Hall effect sticks. So battery capacity, it's up to 44 watt hours, about 555 grams, and it seems like it holds about 2 terabytes. So if anybody's interested into like modifying them, you can also actually change out these sticks if you're interested. They do have other options, but of course, something like this, I believe it's priced a bit higher from what I remember. Now they do have they do have a controller here, well, similar to like how a Asus ROG Ally is. So we will get to that in a little bit, but we will get to the next monster in a bit, which is the Win 2 Max. Some of you may be familiar with, which is this one here, which we will take a look at a little bit. But this one's pretty dope. Somebody's on there right now, so we'll take a look a little later. But if anyone's looking for portability, somebody might want the Win Mini instead. So if you're curious about the weight, it's actually pretty, it's a decent weight. Definitely a decent weight. So you do have to mind it. If you're curious about how it is portably, if you close it, there you go, GPD. Almost kind of gives you that DS look, but if you're curious about the thickness on it, it's probably about that thick. So now if you open this up, and there you go. And now you open this up, and here is, of course, the larger component here. So we'll walk over there in a little bit. Let's continue over here, guys. We'll come back. So, you know what? Here it is. Actually, we can walk over here and see it. So this is the Win Max 2. So if you guys are more interested in a portable device with a large display, because sometimes you feel like portable display is not large enough, they do have a 10.1-inch display if you're interested in that, with a resolution of up to 1600p. So if you want something like this, oh wow. Hey, you know what? Let's see if it can run Black Myth Wukong. Wouldn't that be interesting? Yeah, sure. We could go over there and check out some more monitors. This, you can actually max it out at 64 gigabytes, but I can't imagine how much that would be. That'd probably be probably crazy expensive. And this one actually has the AI9HX370. But it's quite impressive, I gotta say, like when it comes to their devices here. But of course, you definitely have to pay like top dollar if you do go ahead and make a purchase for something like this. But it also has 2 standard capacities that you can take advantage of, which is going to be 2 terabytes, or it's going to be either 1 terabyte. But I think most people would opt in for 2. Let's go ahead and get into game. And how about, let's see, I don't know if this specifically will have it, but we'll check out the settings first. Now, let's go down to the graphics. And we go here and take a look. So right now you have FSR that's on, about resolution of 55. Frame generation looks like it is, of course, not on. And everything's about set medium. But I mean, it is Black Myth Wukong. It is quite a demanding game, if you are curious. Now let's see how the playability is. Let's see how well it actually plays in game. So we're gonna go ahead and continue the journey here and see how well it looks. So curious about how the speed is. It's really like a mini laptop, so you can actually just like kind of pack it with you. If you want to play either on controller mode or on keyboard mode, they do have a switch. They have a standard trackpad similar to a laptop, except it's up on the top instead of the usual bottom where you would see it. And then they do have select menu starts and your standard controllers when it comes to a PC game. So if you want to play it as a controller, you easily could. You just kind of move the sticks here. And so far pretty fluid. So looking at it with my bare eyes, I'm saying it's like probably roughly, you guys could see that, right? So I'm gonna spin around the camera. You guys tell me what you think. Do you guys see any like micro stutters, or do you see any type of ghosting? There's some slight, you see some tessellation a little bit there. Okay, so it's not too bad, but I probably dropped the settings a bit for a bit more fluidity. So if you guys are looking for a bit more performance instead of actual quality, I would highly suggest something like that. It would certainly improve the gameplay. So roughly, if I were to guess, something like this would probably be running. You can see that screen tear right up there. Take a look, guys. See that screen tear? So for something like this, let's try this. We're gonna go back here to the settings, and we're gonna try to drop it down slightly some. Now it's pretty funny because when you hit menu, it actually brings up the Xbox controller menu. So we're gonna exit this, and we will go here. Go back to settings. And now we're gonna go back down to graphics here. Go back down to graphics, guys. And let's say we're going to apply recommended settings.